Hey friends, my name's Stevie Taylor. Welcome to the Gig Life Podcast. My guest today is Daniel March. Daniel's a singer-songwriter and multi-instrumentalist from Newcastle, New South Wales. Daniel recently released a new EP in Australia called Stoneflower. We met up before his last gig of a full-on weekend, and we talked about his influences and the Australian music scene and tacos, of course his new EP. Look, if you haven't heard of Daniel March by now, it's only a matter of time, you know. I've just got to say, the sound quality is not the best, as we're in this back alley in Cronulla, and a bit of wind blowing into the microphone and stuff. A bit of an amateur move by me, but yeah, we'll get there. But without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, Daniel March. Cheers. I think we're rolling. Daniel March, welcome to the Gig Life Podcast.
Thanks for having me.
How are you, man? You look
Good,
knackered.
man.
You look knackered.
I'm smashed,
What's
man.
been going on?
I was in Newcastle yesterday, and then I drove to Sydney to do a morning gig, and then drove to Scone. We had a really late wedding. And I drove straight back home, about 4 hours sleep. I had to sing at my uncle's church, and I did a gig one, and then I'm here now, then gig two.
Right.
About 4 coffees in.
Yeah. Are you driving back to Newcastle tonight?
Yeah, I'm going to try. Yeah. See how I feel after the gig, but
yeah,
I want to, so I can get my own bed, you know.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, you can't
Wake
be
up
today.
in the morning. Otherwise, I'm just on someone's couch.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah.
How are you, man?
I'm good, man. Yeah, cruising. So you just released a new EP.
Yep.
We'll talk a little bit about that, and then we'll sort of roll back to the beginning and
Well, I actually had recorded that EP last year.
Yep.
And truth is, I recorded that because I was a bit funny on doing music at the time, but I had so many songs, and I wanted to put out a tribute to my father who passed last year.
Oh, sorry.
So that's all right. So I recorded a little folky EP, which initially was meant to have strings, and I tried to get it recorded at Abbey Road and stuff, but I just didn't get enough funding. And so I had the studio for about, it was like a week, or 6 days or something. And then I just said, I'm going to record as many songs as I can, and since I didn't get the funding to do with a full orchestra or even a nice 8-piece kind of ensemble thing, I just came back to Sydney rather than record it in London. And I was home for like 3 weeks from London. I just met up with the guys I usually work with, Simon Cohen and Tally Ryan, incredible drummer. Matthew Jeffs on keys, and Wallace and Scotty on BVs, and plus we had a couple of other guests. But yeah, I just chose songs that I thought I could smash at and put out, like just a EP for people who have been supporting me over years.
Yeah.
And that I had a theme with the Stoneflower title. I had a theme for it, and so all the songs are pretty cohesive to me, like especially lyrical context. Yeah. So the project made sense. Yeah. And but yeah, that's already over a year old now. But but since I had a label wanting to release that stuff and my old stuff as one LP, which is just called Daniel March, in Japan. And South Korea. So I had to hold off, and that's why I just released the EP as an EP. But it's only available as an EP in like the UK and Australia.
Is that due to contractual?
Well, yes and no. Like anything in Japan and South Korea I can't really do for a few years because it's all through them, my music.
Okay.
Well, the pre-recorded stuff.
Yep.
The already existing recordings, I mean. But this new stuff I just released because I was living in London and obviously I'm from Australia.
Yep.
So I wanted it to be accessible there, but I haven't put much promo into it because I've just been waiting to, you know, release the single. We're just waiting for someone to kind of premiere it.
Mm-hmm. You've got that someone in mind? You're just waiting for it to come?
I'm just waiting for the AOK for like whether it's like a music channel or some, you know, just to legitimize it. But I'm pretty cruisy about the whole release, to be honest. Like I found I'm not really fussed on pushing music, so to speak, in the dictionary definition of it. But things have been happening with these new songs already, and I've been doing bugger all, man. I haven't been doing anything.
That's cool, eh?
So yeah, it's
kind
cool
of got
because
grown their own legs. And
like,
it's kind of what you want, hey.
It is because you know, you could push so much, but I guess, you know, the correct doors open when they're meant to, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's exciting.
It is.
I guess.
Yeah.
But I'm happy with it because I know it was a mixture of, I worked with the amount of time and budget and resources we had, as well as I didn't really, in the right way, I didn't really care about, like I went in these sessions, we did all the tracks in one day, like the body of it, the beds of it, and then did it vocals in like one day, one session. So it was really organic and really just the best at that moment. Like, if I had $1 million, I could sit on a track and do 50 guitar solos, 50 takes of a solo, but we didn't have that privilege. And I like it. Like, I think it's a really real and organic
Well, it certainly
EP, and I think it sounds good.
It doesn't sound cheap, that's for sure.
Yeah, oh, well,
sounds really good.
Simon's ridiculous too. Like,
and
he knows what he's doing, and plus we had Studio 301, who I've got to say a special thanks to, who've got ridiculous gear and like they looked after me really well. Like Ronnie and Chian there. But yeah, and Simon's a whiz, like producer, engineer, everything, like mixer, and then I actually got Dave Collins to master it this time out of 301. He's a guy who did Ben Harper and Black Messiah for D'Angelo. So I wanted him to master it in LA just to, I guess, expand the bio, and just because it sounded more influenced by.
I like to expand the bio. That's cool.
Yeah, like, because you know, like I like working with a family and stuff like that, and normally all the stuff I've done is, I guess, within the 301 and stuff like that. Like Leon Zervos, who's the guy that usually gets
the main mastering guy there.
I just thought I'd go to Dave this time around because I just wanted, like, you know, to kind of D'Angelo and Ben Harper, two of my heroes.
What can you say?
So to actually, if they're getting it mastered by this guy, I'd like to, you know, get that just to be somewhat affiliated with it.
Yeah, that's great. All right, let's roll right back now.
Yeah, man.
So are you originally from Newcastle? Always
born
been
and raised, man. I lived in Sydney for 2.5 years only. Like, I was here for 2.5 years. I was in America for half a year. I was in London for just under 3.
Okay.
But other than that, I'm born and raised in Newcastle. Went to school there.
Musical family?
I would say no, but yes. Like, my uncle plays and sings, and on both sides. My dad's brother wrote poetry and sang folk songs. My brother was the first musician that inspired me. He got me into like Hendrix and Dylan and Ben Harper. Like, my brother was more of an artist than a musician. So like he saw the art of it, loved lyrics, and he's really responsible for he was like the, you know, my first taste of music was through my brother. And then my mum plays a bit of piano too, and her aunties was a phenomenal singer, but none of them were like musos. They just had talent, I guess.
Gotcha.
But yeah, like, they're definitely appreciators of music that wasn't just in the mainstream. I know that.
And was guitar always your first instrument?
No, it was my last.
Is that right?
Like, I played piano
Bloody
first. I played piano first, and then I played bass. My uncle's a minister, so we all played in church.
Yep.
So I had to play bass at church, I had to play keys at church, I played drums at church, and then I didn't get a guitar till just before I was 16.
Right.
And yeah, that's like exactly half my life. I'm 32 now.
Yep.
And yeah, that was my first guitar, and then I got
So when did you start playing in the church?
14 or whatever.
Okay.
So that would have been year 2000.
Right.
I guess.
And that's your first instrument, basically. It's when you first started playing.
That was keys. I was playing piano at church, keyboards at church.
Yep.
And then you know, just because of different people coming in and out of the music teams, I went to bass, and then was on drums, and then you just chopping and changing. But I used to love piano. Like, that was my thing. Like, ever since I was a kid, I just loved piano, and I still love, like, a good piano player speaks to me more than a good guitarist. Like, I don't really listen to the guitar players at gigs. I listen to keys and singers, really.
Yeah,
like,
right. That's
they're
cool.
my favourite because I'm not a phenomenal singer. I'm not a phenomenal keys player, but I guess I've excelled in my guitar playing in ratio to my keyboard playing or something.
Yeah, I gotcha.
So I guess, you know, I don't really look out for a guitarist because I'm satisfied with my playing, I guess. With my singing and keys, I'm not, so I always I go, wow, that's, you know.
Yeah, that's cool. And who are your players? Who are the players that you sort of listen to and
It's funny that a lot of my favourite players, I guess, are all-rounders. My favourite musician, period, is Prince.
Yeah.
Like, and then again, like, he's just an artist. Like, I wouldn't even classify him as a musician, so to speak. But I love him as a drummer. Like, the way he programs drums is the reason why I asked Tally Ryan to play on my stuff. Because I programmed all my drums in demos, then would show them and get Tally to put his spin on it, his identity on it, you know.
Right. Yep.
But Prince really inspires me a lot. As far as bass players, I loved Raphael Sadiq's bass playing, and he's again a singer-songwriter. Yep. I love Pino Palladino.
I was going to say Pino.
I love Pino.
Yeah, from the D'Angelo stuff.
But when I play bass, I literally, in my mind, I'm thinking, what would Teddy Riley do? Because that was my childhood. And when I play guitar, I just think, what would Clapton do?
Yeah, right.
That Clapton's my hero on guitar.
Yeah.
And drums, I like, you know, I guess I'm not a big buff on the on the gospel kind of stuff.
Yeah,
but like I do love the D'Angelo stuff, that Voodoo, Questlove, and like I guess just there's who's a drummer that always that I love everything he does. I can't even think.
No, you're right.
I'm so narrow-minded. I just think Prince. Like, Prince is it for me. I don't really need to listen to much when I have Prince.
The tie between Prince and D'Angelo is John Blackwell.
Yeah,
drummer John Blackwell.
He's great. Yeah,
he died.
Rest in peace.
Yeah. Wow, what a monster. Monster player, and just lays it down too if he needs to, or when he needs to. When you got Prince as the boss, when I say lay down, you lay down. Well, when you let go, you let go. You know.
Indeed, I saw John Blackwell a couple of times. Yeah, we had the chance to meet him too when he came out with D'Angelo.
With D'Angelo, yeah.
Because we were doing the Soulfest thing, and then we got to hang out with him and Pino and talk, and then shortly after he passed away, like I think within 18 months after we met.
Because apparently he went and did some shows in Japan.
Yeah,
and then just
had
started
a seizure or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's great. He's solid. But like, I mean, it's crazy. Like, musician-wise, like, if I could put a dream band together, I'd probably put together the guys I play with rather than
cool.
You know, like, I guess super famous guys. Like, but yeah, I mean, and another influence I should also say, like, on everything is I love Lenny Kravitz.
Yeah, right.
I'm a die-hard Lenny Kravitz fan.
As a singer, or
all around, I love Lenny's one of my favorite voices. I love his tone, and I just love I love his presence in his voice. Like it is a perfect amount of power and organic, natural.
Yep.
I'd be surprised if that guy takes vocal lessons. Like and when that comes across, like I love that because it's just natural. It's the way they would be doing in their bedroom when they're a kid, and that's what it's like listening to Stevie Wonder's early stuff. Like that's what I want to hear. Like Michael Jackson when he's 6 or whatever, 5. When he's doing I Want to Be Where You Are, like that appeals to me more than Have You Seen My Childhood, where you can hear he knows what he's doing. Like, I don't want to hear that. I want to hear someone just telling their story. Yeah. And you know, Lenny does that, Andre 3000 does that, Hendrix definitely did it. Yeah. And that's Prince does it, but Prince was just phenomenal. Like
Andre 3000, he's underrated, isn't he?
He's so underrated.
Big time.
He's Andre is like D'Angelo for me because he shaped an entire movement himself. Like before people were ready for it. Like you wouldn't have Kendrick without Andre, and people probably listen to that going, "What? No, you don't know what you're talking about." But the whole like changing the rhythm of your flow and like that's Andre. Before Devin the Dude, before anyone, Andre 3000 was the only one doing that in the early 90s on ATLians and all that stuff. It was all him. Like Andre's the guy because he's not a rapper. Just like he's an artist. Like they're just dudes who do everything as a form of expression, not as a. I mean, I don't know, Andre. You could go, hang on, man, you're wrong. But I mean, the guy's a writer. He's an artist. He designs. He can sing. He can play guitar. He can play drums. He can programs. Like the guy rapping's just one of his features. Yeah. Like I wouldn't call him a rapper. Yeah. But yeah, he's definitely underrated, man.
Yeah. What about local guys?
Local guys. I did a gig with Shannon Stitt recently, and we've played a lot together because I was doing a lot of his original stuff with Uncle Jet. They're phenomenal. Like Laura's one of my favorite singers, period. Yep. But one of my favorite female voices in Australia for sure, Laura Stitt, his cousin. But Shannon Stitt is an amazing keyboard player and a piano player and an organist. But I don't know, there's so many. Like Matthew Jeffs I love. He's the guy on my recordings. I'm a big fan of Andrew Bruce's playing. He's from the Newsians and he's in a few different things. I can't even keep up with what he's on. But we did some stuff with Wallace, who's also phenomenal, one of my favorite voices as well. But yeah, these are all guys I work with. Like I feel privileged to call them friends. I love Adam Ventura's bass playing.
Yeah, something else.
Like he's got the Sly Stone thing, which I love, and then he's got a James Jamerson thing, which I love, and then like he can go on the rock stuff too. Which I'm from Newcastle. I love the rock stuff. But like I like that, and also because Adam is, I guess, he writes deep down. And composes music as well. That he's got that sensibility to just sit on a 4-chord progression and not want to do fills. Yep. You know, like Adam plays music. He doesn't play an instrument. That's right. And there's a difference. And you know, like people can think you're an idiot for saying that stuff, but it's when people are justifying the music rather than the instrument. Yeah. That appeals to me, and like,
that's what you get with Terapi as well.
Yeah, like. I'm excited because I've only played with. I don't think I've ever played with Terapi. Okay. Oh no, once. Yeah, we did one gig.
Yeah, right.
But I've only met him maybe twice.
Yeah.
But and I'm a big fan of Terapi.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this. It's going to be bloody good.
But Sydney's infested with a lot of incredible musicians, and Melbourne, man. Yeah. Perth, like this. Australia's got a lot of talent.
And how's the Newcastle music scene?
Man, it's actually good. Like there's. Growing up, like there were always gigs around. Like there's phenomenal singer-songwriters like that would be world class. Like Amy V, right? She's a friend of mine, and she's just incredible. And I recorded the EP Black and White, the one for my father. I recorded that with a good friend of mine, Gareth Hudson, a long-time collaborator. His studio there, Hazy Cosmic Jive Studios in Newcastle. Yeah, he's an incredible singer-songwriter himself, but he's doing more composition and production these days. But yeah, there's plenty of talent there, and there were, I guess, singer-songwriter nights back in the day, and that the cover scene is more prominent. And I guess if you isolated looking at it from a perspective of what you can push in the cover world, then you might not say the music scene's that good, because I mean you know, people don't really do soulful. If you're not doing Summer of '69 in Newcastle or Bruno Mars Locked Out of Heaven, it's not really cool. Like you're not going to get booked every weekend and a good following. But yeah, that's only my perception. I'm sure some people in Newcastle would beg to differ. But as far as pushing your originals, there's a couple of cool spots. There's this one club called the Las O'Garry, which I used to play frequently when I was growing up there, and it was cool. Like you could do whatever you want. They're open to originals. We do blues nights, and I just did a gig with a dear friend of mine, Adam Miller, who's an incredible guitarist. At a place called Coal and Cedar, which a bloke from the Central Coast opened up. And that was great. It was nice. They just wanted some bluesy original kind of music, so we did a set of our originals each, and like as a duo, and it was sick. And that place didn't exist when I was there. That's only 3 years old. So yeah, that was cool. Newcastle's still happening, but I just like anything, I think what London taught me, and even America when I was in Atlanta, that like Australia, even in the age of the internet, it's still small, man. Like unless you're like, because I can say I've lived in London now, I can see what Australia not lacks, because that sounds negative, but I can see what it doesn't provide as an original artist. You know what I mean? Where you look at double the population of Sydney is London, and there's way more gigs, there's way more, you know, opportunities, and that purely based on population alone. But when you look at, you know, you got double the people who would be into the Prince stuff or whatever, then you got just on numbers alone. So like, I love Australia, but I think you need to be positioned in a more conducive environment if you want to be an original artist. Because, I mean, an example, and I am calling them out because I'm not hurt or anything, but it's just the way it is. Like Triple J have never played my stuff, and they probably never will, but they've played multiple records that I've been on. Yeah, like I was on a couple of Wallace's tracks, like on every instrument but drums. And they were playing all of that, but they weren't playing my stuff.
What's that?
I don't know. They might think my voice sucks. They might think well, Wallace's stuff is really is more new school than mine, and I think it's because they're not willing to take a punt on what they know doesn't really succeed. Like, I don't know. I mean, I remember when I would hear, because I was heavy in a John Butler trio. Super heavy. Like, John Butler was probably responsible for me wanting to play lead guitar. Like, I was just happy playing rhythm until I came across the album 3 by John Butler. But I remember when Triple J would flog his stuff, that was, to me, like, when I look back now, they were taking a punt because no one sounded like John Butler. It didn't really sound trendy. You know, like, the fish tacos.
Make sure you bring this
I promise you, I'll bring it back. Chili, extra chili. You are the best. Thank you. Are you hungry, man?
No, I'm good, bro. I'm good. Yeah, I just ate.
But yeah, I don't think Australia takes punts anymore as much. You know, and maybe there's some industry things that I'm not aware of, or you know, like just don't know about, but I think they play it more safe, like, you know what I mean? Where I think because there's more numbers in the other countries, they can afford to, you know, like a friend of mine who was just in London was telling me that PJ Morton, everyone knows PJ Morton, he's going crazy, like there's a craze about him, I should say, but a friend of mine rang up Just ran out of Jazz Cafe and was like, there's this unknown artist like Raquel Rodriguez, who I knew about because she's from LA, and she did some stuff with Anderson .Paak as well, but back in the day. And he's like, can you just put her on the support slot for PJ? And bang, she was on the support slot, opened up for him, and he loved her and he wants to take her on tour and things like that. Where I don't see Yanya Boston calling Enmore Theatre going, hey, you should get Daniel Marsh to support Leon Bridges, and them going, cool, yeah. I think they go, how many bums on seats can he get?
Yeah, right.
And where I think that's more prominent in Australia, probably because of the numbers, or probably because, like, if I was that Kingsmill guy back in the day, I'd be putting on whatever I thought was fresh, not what I go, well, John Butler works, so I'm going to put on Xavier Rudd. I would never think like that.
Yeah.
Okay, and I know to a degree, like, well, I think musicians do know, like, what's cool. Like, if you gave one of, you know, like, who's an incredible singer-songwriter, like Michael Duchesne, one of my favourites in Sydney. If you gave Ed Sheeran one of his songs, I guarantee you it would be a hit because it's Ed Sheeran. But it's also because Michael's songs are great. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Like, I think it's a bit, the kind of age of people wanting repetition is definitely more prominent now than it was even 10 years ago or in the 90s. Like, that was the beauty of the 60s, 70s, and especially 80s, the diversity.
Yeah.
There's none of that now. Like, people are going back making EDM versions of, like, let it just create something new, man.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, and I backed that up by saying, like, when John Mayer was out, he was my hero because he played guitar.
Yep.
I turn on the radio now and there's no one who plays an instrument. Ed Sheeran does.
Yeah.
Props to Ed Sheeran, props to Taylor Swift for being real musicians and real songwriters.
Yeah.
But they're not taking solos. There's no solos in pop music.
Yeah.
You had Hendrix, who was all over radio.
Yep.
John Mayer, Your Body's a Wonderland's got a guitar solo, but you got the equivalent, none of that these days. And that's why I know it's went downhill, because how are kids meant to go, I want to do that thing, or I want to play guitar, when there's none of that in the mainstream?
Mayer's still doing his solos, that new track he's got out now.
Yeah, but did that make it on radio?
Yeah, man.
It did?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man, maybe I just stopped listening. Maybe I'm old and jaded.
And that's got Pino playing bass and Aaron Sterling playing drums.
Is it Aaron Sterling?
Yeah, because I don't know, it's usually Steve Jordan, but for some reason Aaron Sterling's playing.
Aaron Sterling's great though,
man. He's a monster, man.
You don't mind if I just
of course not.
this?
Of course not. But yeah, that song's on the radio, and it's you know, he plays a solo in it, and it's on Smooth FM. You know,
is it?
It must be the, apart from the old throwback stuff that they play, it must be the only sort of modern song with a solo in it, like you said.
But
yeah,
I guess in London, thing I love, and in America, like, it'd be a different story. You'd be hearing like all quirky chords and all, you know, more solos, like.
Yep.
But I'm a firm believer that it does work, and the internet's proven that. Like with, you know, if Corey Henry comes over here, or Snarky Puppy, they're going to sell out their tour in Australia.
Yeah.
I'm not dissing on Australia saying they don't get it, because they do get it.
Yeah.
But the industry doesn't. Yeah. And just go, oh, well, it doesn't work because it's not on the radio. Because no, you're not putting it on the radio.
Yeah, that's it.
A good song's a good song.
Yeah,
and
that's it.
You know, like, yeah. So, I never want to sound like an ass.
No, not at all.
Because
that's what this is all about, man. Just... Are they good?
Best, man. Fish tacos. Are you sure you don't?
No, I'm good.
No,
did you put chili on it?
Not yet.
I don't get the chili thing, you know.
I love chili, man, so much.
I can't get how someone can sit there and.
I can eat that straight, man.
Have people sweat.
I love. That's
going,
my
oh
favorite.
my god, this is so good.
I love that feeling.
I just don't get it.
I love that feeling, man.
So what's the next 12 months got installed? You know.
I do plan to move back to London.
Okay.
I don't have a visa approved yet,
Okay.
but I'm believing that it will work out.
Yep.
I've got some people over there, and yeah, hopefully I'm there by June, July.
Yep.
I don't really plan to live in Australia in the near future.
Yep.
I love Australia, and I definitely want to, I guess, live here and I guess die here and buy a house and stuff.
Of course.
It's home, but I'm just really pushing the writing thing. Like I'm a bit older, man. So like even that alone, I don't really want to be being on the road and having 3 hours sleep doesn't appeal to me. Like even though I've done it on a very, very low level scale, like grassroots level.
Yep.
I have toured the world.
Yep.
And it has been playing songwriter nights, and it has been not breaking even and coming under. But it's still me packing up, living out of a suitcase.
Yep.
Sleeping on people's couches and stuff. I have done that.
Yep.
And it doesn't appeal to me anymore.
Yep.
Now I'm 30.
Yep.
Like I just want to tap into songwriting, which I enjoy more, and I think it's more of a strength of mine than I'm not really like the type of performer that Prince is or whatever, or Michael Jackson. And so like playing live, I can easily get the same dopamine, endorphin rush fix, whatever you want, in the studio.
Yeah.
You know, like I do love performing, but you know, I get an equivalent amount of that rush creating songs more so than performing. So I just really want to tap into that and see if I can, you know, make my way as a writer and branch out into that as my artistry thing. Like there's people I've been writing for, like in the Netherlands and collaborating with in London. So it's slow beginnings, but it is happening.
Yeah,
and
it's cool.
And I like that. But that's what I want to do. I don't have any massive plans. Like I want to play Glastonbury within 12 months. Nothing like that. But there is new music I'm writing and collaborating. I'm just seeing where it fits. Like I don't know if it's for me or for someone else, but I am constantly writing and taking in music. But yeah, apart from me focused on, you know, doing stuff here, like some personal stuff here, musically, I want to be in London by this time next year. Like living there with a long visa.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
But yeah, like because I started really building up, I guess my like it started feeling like home, and then I had to come back.
Right.
You know
Is that because of the visa?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because of the visa.
Yep.
Which was timely because of my father's death. Like I wouldn't want to be over there and when that happened. So I was glad I was back for that.
Yep. And have you always done music? Yep.
I have, man.
You've never had the 9 to 5?
I can count the amount of jobs besides guitar teaching I've had.
Yep.
I worked at a suit shop for a year.
Yep.
Which then led to David Jones within that year.
That's the big time.
Hey. I worked at Subway for a year, and this is all in my late teens, 17, 18, 19. Then I worked at JB Hi-Fi when I was 20.
Yeah.
And that was it. They're the only jobs I've had. Other than that, I've played music.
Yep.
And I was still playing music back then.
Yep.
But it wasn't my source of income.
I understand, yeah.
Where I guess if that makes you professional, that I've been doing that since 20.
Yeah.
Or whatever. And it's all I know now, but I don't want to, nothing wrong with it if it's what you want to do, but I don't want to be doing what I'm doing now in 10 years. Like, I don't want to be doing the gigs I'm doing right now. Like, I don't even really want to be gigging.
Yeah.
Like, unless it's my material, I don't want to be doing performances. That's why I want to try and get into the publishing and licensing and doing that stuff, because I want to be able to wake up, write songs, do what I want with my family in the future.
Yep.
And not go, hang on, Daddy's got to go to Manly Boat Shed till 3 a.m.
Yep.
I don't want to do that.
You'd rather go to the mailbox and get your
and there's no it's no disrespect, because people love playing music.
That's your thing.
But I love creating songs in my room, which isn't superior or inferior. It just if you're not on the same page, you're on the same page.
Yeah.
I enjoy creating rather than playing my
Yeah,
instrument.
yeah. That's
You
your
know
gig.
what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah. So they're my plans.
Yeah.
In short, man.
Yeah.
Sorry, man. I can talk my ass off.
No, yeah, it's all good.
I want to hear you play the drums, though, man.
Oh, I'm nothing, man. Nah. No. I mean, I released my first EP this year. Yeah, when I played.
I didn't know that, man.
Oh right, yeah. So I played everything. Sang, drums, guitar,
Man, I
bass
should
on all but one track. Rafty played guitar on one song for
He's
me.
a beast, man.
But yeah, it was something like I woke up one day at the start of this year and went, that's it, I'm going to release an EP. You know, I hadn't done it and I'd always procrastinated. So I put it out there on the social media and I said, I'm going to release an EP. So by doing that, I made myself accountable. You know?
That's man.
And I
that's
did it,
the
and I
best
kind
way.
of kind of tracked the progress, and then released it, and and that was it. Yeah.
That's
So
the
yeah,
best
I'll
way.
show it to you. But
Please
later,
show
yeah.
me, man.
Yeah.
So you play everything. You Kiwis, man. Bloody talented.
Just a hack, man. Just a hack. But yeah, drums is my main instrument, I guess. Yeah.
Did you grow up in New Zealand?
I did, yeah.
Which
Yeah.
part?
From Masterton, which is sort of an hour north of Wellington.
Yeah.
Bottom of the North
Wellington's
Island.
cool,
Yeah.
hey, man.
Yeah, it's cool. Yeah. Yeah.
Wellington's a good spot.
Yeah.
A lot of musos there, man.
I know there is, yeah. Yeah. And yeah, that's where Buddy grew up as well.
Did he?
Yeah. Yeah, you need
That
to listen. You need
explains
to,
why he's so good, man.
you need to listen to his episode.
I haven't yet. I
Yeah.
listen to Adams, man.
Did you? Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. Listen to Buddy's. Yeah. Cool story, man. Yeah, he's a cool cat.
He is, man.
Yeah.
And he's a beast on anything, man.
Yeah, that's right.
Buddy, man.
Yeah, man. Bloody Buddy, eh?
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. He's great.
Yep.
He's a good dude, man, too.
Yep.
Love Buddy.
No, all good. All right, Daniel. Thank you very much for being a guest on my Gig Life podcast.
Thank you for having me.
And,
Sorry for eating these tacos.
No,
in front of you,
please.
man.
It's a little bit.
breakfast.
It's a little bit noisy. Where are we sitting? We're sitting outside in the alley area. They
in
called
the
it.
alley area of,
Yeah,
of
overlooking
El Sol, the Shannon Knoll
Shannon-
mural, Southern Cross.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I didn't see that. He's pulling his shirt. He's got a Southern Cross.
We're in Cronulla, man.
Right. Yeah.
It's hard Cronulla.
Yeah. But yeah, looking forward to this gig tonight, man. It's gonna be cool. Yeah.
Me too, bro.
Daniel, thank you very much.
Thank you for having me, man.
Cheers, brother.
I think Adam's calling now. I can't even get my phone out.